Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Legends from the Past and Future Show. I am Armand Wallace, your host, and I'll be going solo tonight. And I'll be going solo tonight, and we have a guest tonight, all the way from Japan. All the way from Japan. But before we bring him to the stage, next Monday we will be starting another show. Another show, and the host for the show will be Marcel Colbert and Michelle Quill. We know them. We know both of them. They're from Annapolis, and we're gonna have a nice time. And then we're gonna have Melissa Natafine back. She's gonna be back, health and fitness and subject matter expert, the guru herself, Melissa Natafine. But we're not going to delay things too much longer. We're going to bring our guests to the stage. Before we do so,
today's guest is Lieutenant Worth J. Smith III, a Charlotte native and U.S. Naval Academy graduate. A standout four-year starter on Navy's Division I basketball team, he went on to serve as an officer aboard the USS Bataan and USS SHILOH, leading over 70 sailors across multiple deployments. Along the way, he represented the All-Navy and USA Armed Forces basketball teams, earning gold and silver on the international stage. Now in his sixth season as a pro in Japan, he continues to inspire through service, leadership, and sport. Please welcome Worth J. Smith III.
here he is, Worth J. Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to have you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate it. Looking forward to the opportunity to speak with you.
Oh, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a nice time tonight. I'm happy that you uh, decided to do this. We met, we met in we met well at the Naval Academy. I'm just happy that you decided to do this. It's great, and you are all the way in Japan. What time is it in Japan?
Right now, it's about 9 a.m.
It's
I think
about
we're
nine.
13 hours ahead of y'all.
Okay. Now, what we do on a Legends from the Past and Future show, we go back in time. Okay, before we get started, I like to welcome Ren Delia to the show. Welcome to the show. Tell us about yourself. Where were you born and raised?
Charlotte, North Carolina. Born there. My mom is from Charlotte. My dad is from Statesville, a small town outside of Charlotte. So we end up living in between about 30 minutes outside of Charlotte in a town called Mooresville. Even though I grew up there, spent a lot of time in Statesville with my dad, and then also a lot of time in Charlotte. I even went to school in Charlotte. So a lot of my time was in Charlotte. I just tell people Charlotte because it's easier for people to remember.
Okay. So, what are some of the things you had done while growing up?
Growing up, I've always been very active. I mean, I loved video games as a kid, but my dad, when he came in the house, was like, get your tail outside. So, I love basketball. So, even out before that, I was always outside playing basketball. Football, I actually loved a lot too. Basketball and football were my favorite sports growing up. I played some baseball, and then even in my neighborhood, some kids liked skateboard, and I wasn't good at it, but I tried it out. My dad was like, and then people like doing dirt biking and stuff like that. But my dad was like, "Don't get on that. If you're going to be a basketball player, like that's how you mess up your career." So he made sure I stayed away from that kind of stuff. And then I did a lot of airsoft, paintball guns and airsoft wars, all that kind of stuff. So having fun as a kid, been outside water balloon fights.
One thing I find it hard to believe. You play football.
I did. I was a kick return and wide receiver.
You return kickoff.
I was in the newspaper, middle school, and I got to ninth grade, and I was gonna try to play football too. But I was really athletic, but I was very skinny. And I was growing kind of fast. So I was tall and skinny, and I got in the weight room. I never really been in the weight room. I did some push-ups. My dad be at the house when you watch the TV, do push-ups, be stretching and make use of the time. But get to the weight room and I'm seeing seniors in there benching 200 something. I'm like, if I could just get 135, I'll be happy. So I knew right then, I was like, I don't know if this football career is gonna be for me. Like, if I go out there and try to play, like I'm gonna get hurt and I'm gonna miss basketball season. So I ended
Yeah.
up focusing fully on basketball after that. But I still have great love for football. It's just a different kind of adrenaline rush.
Wow. Wow. Now, while growing up, you had talked about being inside playing video games and stuff like that, and your father kicked you out. So, who did you look up to as a mentor? Who, besides your father, was there anyone in particular that drew you to basketball? And before you answer that, Letitia Jones, welcome to the show. Kim Jones, welcome to the show. My brother Lenny Knight, welcome to the show. And Rondell, welcome to the show. Go ahead, bro.
Kobe Bryant, he was my favorite basketball player. I don't even know how I got like into Kobe Bryant, but I remember just hearing about him, watching the game, and I was just mesmerized by like his ability. And I was able to go to a game of his at a very young age, which was just a cool experience that I always remember being able to see him play in person. And from then on, I was a Kobe fan. Outside of that, as like celebrity figure, I didn't really have any other celebrities that I was all like, oh, I like a lot. Obviously, there were people that I like, but I ended up living with another family later in high school, like for a little bit. I was still going back home and whatnot, just because the school was kind of far and home situation was tough. But ended up living with another family, and his dad was also kind of like a father figure and helping me because in your teenage years, another man there is kind of like somebody to speak to and kind
Yeah.
of help you with basketball and just decision making. You got questions and stuff like that. So, um, and then just family like uncles and stuff like that. Always been able to talk to people. I had a very good, very big and supportive family.
Awesome. Awesome. So now, high school. Did you play football, baseball, and basketball in high school, or was it just one sport?
Just basketball. I would say up until sixth grade, I played basketball, football, and baseball. Sixth grade was my last year of baseball. I realized that sport wasn't for me. I didn't enjoy it as much. It was kind of slower for me. But I remember, like, this is a funny story. When you're a kid, you think you're good, and I was kind of good, and I played, first base, outfield, pitcher, and whatnot. But we were playing as a sixth grade team. We were playing against seventh and eighth grade teams, and that season we went 1-16. And I'm not used to losing. And I was like, never again. After that, I was like, I'm not playing baseball. And the one game we won was the King team forfeited because they didn't have a team. So I never played baseball again after that. And I just stuck with football and basketball. And then ninth grade, I started focusing on just basketball.
So, one thing I've noticed for tall athletes who play baseball, it's kind of hard for them to see the ball when it comes, and they strike out a lot. Were you a strikeout king, or were you making contact?
I was making decent contact, but I would say that seventh and eighth grade playing against older guys, the
Yeah,
ball was coming faster than I was used to. So
yeah, yeah.
I was doing pretty good, but it wasn't good enough to where we were going to be winning like that. And
Got you, got you, got you. So your high school years. How was the basketball team during your high school year?
so high school, my freshman year, I went to a school, Lake Norman High.
Mhm.
Had some not issues, but I would say some issues there where I ended up making the freshman team. I felt that I should have been on the JV team, but there's other things behind the scenes that were going on that actually opened the opportunity for me to go to Charlotte Christian, and that's a pretty. It's probably not a big school and nationwide, but it's a pretty well-known school. Well-known school in the area. Some pretty big names came from there. Steph Curry went to Charlotte Christian. His brother Steph and then Anthony Gill. They played. So we had a really good team there. But I left from Lake Norman my ninth grade year to go there my sophomore year and play, varsity sophomore, junior, senior year.
Wow, wow. Now you said that you saw the great Kobe Bryant play, and that he was somebody that you looked up to. Let's talk about your game a little bit. All right. Did you feel that you played like Kobe?
Nah, I don't think I played like my play style isn't like Kobe. It's not, but I love his play style. But I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm out on my game after Kobe. I don't even think I really modeled my game after anybody specifically. Like I just went out there and played, and then when someone used something against me, if I felt that I could do it or learn it, then I would try to pick it up and just whatever I felt most comfortable with. That's what I was going to.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. Now, out of high school, uh, 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 before we talk about the Naval Academy, how many schools? Well, let's back up. How tall are you?
6'6",
6'6". How tall is your mother?
5'11".
No, she gotta be 6 foot, man. I met you guys now. I met you guys at the Naval Academy there. She's up there. I was looking up. Now,
Five
what about
eleven. That's about 6 foot. That's 5'11".
now? How about your sister? How tall is she?
She's 5'11" too.
She's 5'11".
Yeah,
And your father? How tall is your father?
he's 6 foot.
Okay. Now
6'1".
6'1". Okay. Before I ask you this question, I was checked by this brother named Jack Abrams. He said it's not true about the height in baseball. I know that, bro. I was just messing with work. Okay, all right. I know that. So, how many schools were actually recruiting you out of high school?
I wouldn't say a ton were recruiting me actually. My junior year I broke my leg. Well,
Okay.
going into my junior year, I broke my leg in a freak accident. I was playing and went to go dunk it, and it just snapped. The doctor said I was growing too fast and not stretching
Yeah.
enough, so my muscles were tight. So instead of my tendon tearing, it tore a chunk of my tibia, the top of my tibia off, and it was a freak accident. So I kind of felt like I was behind the curve when I was trying to get seen. I remember jumping onto the AAU scene my senior year, trying to
Yeah.
get seen. So I probably had maybe 5 schools looking at me, 2 that I really wanted to go to at the time, but they ended up offering someone else. But just because the team was a very good team, they were already coming to look at other players, and then they kind of saw me. I was never really the guy on a team until I got to college.
Okay. Now, what drew you to the Naval Academy?
It sounds bad, but I really wasn't interested in Naval Academy at first. I didn't know anything about it. I had a cousin that was in the Navy. I had an uncle that was in the Army, but I just didn't really know much about it. So when the coach first called me on the phone, I told him, "Sir, I don't want to waste your time, but there's no way I'm going to a military school." But, so I thought there was no way that's happening. But he kept coming to the school later. The assistant coach kept coming to school because he started recruiting someone else, and he was actually saw me because he was recruiting someone else.
Okay.
But he was a cool dude, so I kept talking to him and just hearing about. Because I don't want to burn bridges, but I just kind of knew I wasn't going. And my mom
Yeah.
was like, "I don't want my only son going to in the military. I just don't want to do that." So her boss was a Navy SEAL, ex Navy SEAL, and he heard about the offer, and other parents were coming to my mom about like, "Congratulations on your son for the offer. It's a really big deal." She's like, "Let me look into this kind of thing." And so she started looking to Naval Academy, realized that it was a big deal to go there. She's like, "Hey, Worth, like I know you said you don't want to go there, but you should really look into the school. I want you to go there." And she, at the end of the day, it's your decision. Where she never like really pushed me. She pushed me like, "I want you to go there," but she's like, "Hey, it's your decision, but I really want you to look at this school." So I started looking into it more, and I ended up going on my visit and realized that with my leg injury,
Mhm.
basketball ended just like that. I had a cousin that went to Clemson, which is a big school for basketball, but
Yeah.
he didn't really do his part school-wise education, and then the basketball didn't go where he wanted to, and then he was back home washing cars for a living. So I wanted to have a real like fallback plan. Basketball NBA was my goal, but I knew that not everybody made it to the NBA, so I knew that like with the military Naval Academy, I would definitely have a good future. So I actually chose Naval Academy to secure my future. And then on my visit, I went and I saw how beautiful it was and the people and how well they treated me. And I was like, I think I could do this because I didn't want a desk job if basketball didn't work out. I needed something active. People, when you're a kid and they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I always say, oh, I want to be an NBA player. And they're like, no, choose something realistic. And that's kind of messy that they do that. But I was like, I don't know. And I was like a secret agent because I was always like 007. I needed something like exciting in my life. So I figured the CIA would recruit me out of Naval Academy.
The CIA, huh? Well, well, now, Worth. Okay, I did mention to you that I'm Army, right?
Oh yes, yes, I remember hearing about that.
So you know, you. This is how I feel about the Navy.
Yeah, that's a robbery. I know how it goes.
Hey, but now, okay, you what was your degree in at the Naval Academy?
Economics, bachelor's in economics.
Economics. Okay. Now we're gonna get to that in a few minutes. Before we do, I gotta welcome my beautiful wife Andrew to the show. Thanks for joining us tonight, baby. Uh, economics, right? You played 4 years at the Naval Academy. What was your most memorable game while playing at the Naval Academy?
I don't have a most memorable game. Um, I got like I got a couple memorable games. Some for different reasons, some for good reasons, and some for bad reasons.
Okay.
So I'll just give two. The Army Navy game is always a big game, so that's probably one of my most memorable just times Army Navy because there's so much pressure coming to those games. You know, everybody at the school before the game, you have like Army Week and Air Force Week, where you have a whole bunch of pranks and all these kind of things that are going on. Everything is beat Army, so that kind of pressure and be able to perform and win in that environment is probably one of the best feelings to be able to go. So those are most memorable. And then other memorable that I did enjoy was probably my senior year, first game of the season. I had my sets on being player of the year for the conference. I felt that I had a good chance, and I dislocated my kneecap like the second quarter against Michigan State on national TV, and that was kind of like I felt that my dreams were like going down the drain. But I was able to be blessed and come back. I came back early actually. It was first game was like November 11th. I came back December 22nd against Towson, so I missed all non-conference play and joined right before conference play.
Okay. So now you did earn some accolades down there. Let's talk about your accolades that you've earned. What are some of those accolades?
I don't remember all the names of them. You have like the McDonough, I think it's the MVP award. I made the All Rookie team, um, first team All Conference, and then the most notable is the David Robinson Award.
Ah, the David Robinson Award. Well, so talk a little bit about that. Now, he starred at the Naval Academy. How do you feel about actually winning his award?
I mean, it's an honor and it's a big deal. Obviously, people recognize the name, so to be able to say I'm a recipient of the award, it feels good and it kind of helps me, I guess, feel solidified in the work that I put in. Trying to make it to that level, to be kind of acknowledged for that. So, I don't really know what to say about it. I
Yeah.
met David Robinson one time. It wasn't because of the award, but he came to the locker room to come and speak to the team and everything. So it was cool to be able to say, I have a picture with him, and I have pictures with his award and stuff like that.
And there's also a mural down at the Naval Academy with you all on it, right?
Yes. So that feels good. That probably feels the best because I think it lasts a lot longer. Obviously, I still have the award in my house and I have the big award at the school, but when you can walk into a building and see your picture there, it
Yeah.
feels good because no, I'm coming back home from Japan with my mom. I'm bringing my sponsor mom, family on the yard. My girlfriend, but now fiance. Well, now actually, I didn't tell you this, but actually, we just put in the paperwork to get married too. So we already been dating for a while, so we knew that was going to happen.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it feels good to be able to walk in and show like, hey, like I was a big part of this program doing that because Halsey they were doing renovations my senior year, so I never got to really stay in the new locker rooms that they have now. So when I come back and I see the facilities and how new they are, it felt good to see the coaches be like, hey, like we know you did a lot for the program. We wanted to make sure your picture was here too. So it feels good.
Well, that's awesome, man. Did you spend any time in Norfolk?
Yeah, that was actually my first duty station. As soon as I graduated, I had a short CAD job here at the academy, so I stayed at the academy after graduating for like maybe 2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
helping with the basketball team and also like plebe summer, rock climbing, all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
after I did 2 years down in Norfolk, I was stationed down there on the USS Bataan. and fit. So we worked with Marines, and I was an electronic warfare officer.
Wow, that's great. That's great. That's awesome. Now, while at the Naval Academy, right now, here's a question from Kim Jones, and you are a professional basketball player. His question was, were you still thinking about going pro while at the academy? So I'm assuming that he's talking about the NBA. All right. So
Yes,
talk a little bit about that.
I guess it sounds weird because it's kind of like, if you're going to the academy, you're going to have to serve 5 years. And even though in
Yeah.
the back of my mind, I knew that, you still have this wishful thinking. So I knew when I was choosing it, I was kind of putting myself in that position.
Hmm.
But I had a, wishful thinking of like these 4 years, I can grow, make large strides as a player. And maybe the NBA is looking at me, maybe they'll let me, go or something like that. And then I had friends that also I didn't go to the academy thinking I wanted to transfer, but
Hmm.
after my freshman year, I was definitely thinking about transferring because it was hard. It was a culture shock, and then I had another teammate who was really good, and he ended up transferring and stuff like that. So I almost did transfer out of the academy, but um, things happened. Talked to family, and decided to give it another year,
Hmm.
and I ended up sticking with it just because. But I was always hoping back in my mind that I could still. That was always my goal, like to be a professional basketball player.
Yeah. 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 So now you're playing professional ball over in Japan. How's that working out for you?
It's going great. It's been a roller coaster ride. Just it's always hard. Like you stop playing basketball for 5 years to work, and then you try to jump into the professional level. And it was good, and then I had some injuries, and so I've been kind of dealing with. Actually, it's basically been one main injury that I was kind of
Hmm.
afraid to get surgery, but I finally went and did get it in the last year. I had a good season, but it's just trying to get my career back on track. So it's been kind of a roller coaster just with injuries, but I don't
Yeah.
regret my decision. People like ask like, why would you get out of the military? You have the stability and officer, lieutenant, you can keep going up. But for me, I knew that if that was a dream of mine, that I thought I lost at that
Hmm.
dream. I thought 30 years in the military, I was like, yeah, it's kind of end of it. There's no way I'm gonna be a professional basketball player. When that opportunity came, I had to take it. It was kind of a blessing and very rare of how I even was able to jump here to do that.
Yeah. So now, how long do you see yourself remaining in Japan?
Probably for the rest of my life. It's an amazing place. I plan on trying to go back and forth. I still, want to be, in America, but
Sure.
basketball wise, I want to play until I'm 40, maybe. Obviously, depends on my body, how I'm enjoying it and whatnot. But I plan on naturalizing here, trying to get a citizenship. I want to be able to go back and forth from America to Japan. Japan has been an amazing place for me. It's so
Yeah.
easy to live here. I didn't even want to come to Japan when I first got sent here. The military is like, you're going to Japan. It wasn't even on my list. So I was kind of upset about it. But as soon as I got here, I fell in love with it.
Yeah. The food over there is amazing, man.
I'm big on food. If you're big on food, this is the place to be. I love the food here. It's so great, and not just the food, but even experience with it that comes with the food. The service that comes with it is second to none.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, are you close to Osaka? Osaka, Japan?
I'm probably Shinkansen away, probably an hour away from Osaka. So not too far on the bullet train. I guess
Yeah.
about an hour away. But the closest big city I'm from, near to, is Nagoya. I'm about 20-minute train ride from Nagoya. That's the third largest city in Japan.
Okay. 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 Now, you are you have a degree in economics. Basketball is not going to last forever. Have you been pretty much working in what you got your degree in while there in Japan, or what have you been doing?
Yeah, so I haven't used my degree since I graduated. That's kind of how the military is. So you get to the military and it's like, okay, you're electronic warfare officer, you're a surface warfare officer, and then my second job was engineer, so it's in engineering school, and then I, became an engineer. But I just focus on basketball a lot. But through my injuries, I've had a lot of free time to kind of sit, and I don't want to, if you sit through an injury, you kind of get frustrated about not being on the court and questioning things. I'm also very want to keep my mind busy, so I had a lot of ideas that I just want to try to lean in on. I want to say maybe about 2 years ago, I started on the idea to try to bring it to market and That's kind of what I'm doing now. In between basketball, even like during the season when I'm playing, when I'm resting, I'm working on an idea, trying to get it marketed. I pitch to companies. I'm actually about to try to launch this idea on Makawake, which is like a crowdfunding kind of Kickstarter or Indiegogo. It's their
Mm.
version here in Japan. I want to launch here in Japan first, get it going, and then hopefully I can get it launched in America and make it an international thing. So I want to be an entrepreneur and kind of start my own business with an idea that I came up with.
Well, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Have you thought about being a coach?
I thought about it, but I don't think that's for me. Right now, as a player, I don't think I have the patience to coach people. I just don't see me doing it. And then I thought about it. My mom was like, "Would you ever think about going back to the Naval Academy and be a coach? Like, you probably could." And I was like, "That's a lot of work." Once I'm done, right now I'm focused on basketball. Once basketball's over with,
Yeah.
I don't think I want to be on the road that much, trying to watch that much film and cut film up, and it's a lot. College level, maybe at a lower level, maybe I would get back to the community and jump in and kind of show up at a high school team or something like that. But at a high level, I don't see myself being a coach because there's a lot of time that comes with that, and I value my time.
I understand. I understand. You know, and it sounds like your mother wants you to come back home.
I mean, she's always misses me and she loves to have me back, but she's not like trying to pull me to come back. As soon as I was able, I guess growing up, like she's very, protective and holding on to. I used to think like, "Dang, I can't do nothing. Like you can't go to this party, you can't go to this." She's like, "You gonna get in trouble or something if you go out." So she's very protective. But she said like, as soon as you turn 18, like you can do whatever you want to do. And I didn't even believe her when she said that, but that's kind of what it's been. Like, first deployment, she didn't even cry. She was like, "I'm happy for you. Go explore the world. Like, go do your thing." So when I even went to Japan, she encouraged me about Japan. I was like, maybe I can try to fight it or something like that. She was like, "Just go. Like, you never know. You might enjoy it, and you can always come back if you want to."
Yeah.
And I'm still gonna be here. She wants me to go out and explore the world. I think she made some decisions in her life to where she ended up missing out on some big opportunities. She had a lot of big opportunities. She's still doing great and everything, but like chance to explore the world opportunity she missed out on because she was afraid to take that step, and she didn't
Yeah.
want me to make that kind of mistake. So she pushes me and my younger sister both to go explore. Like, we got FaceTime. It's 2025.
Now you know your mother's watching you, right?
Yeah, and she was like, "Hey, that's my son. I told him go out there and explore the world." I still come back home. I come back home every summer, and I stay with her when I come back home. I come back home for about 2 or 3 months a year,
Yeah.
and so we get a lot of quality time still. And she's actually probably going to come out here to Japan to visit me, hopefully within the next year.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, here's the $1,000,000 question for you. Okay. All right. Who is Worth Smith? Tell everybody, who are you, and what is it that you would like to accomplish?
First off, is Wordsmith. I'm a child of the Most High God. That's my main identity. Outside of that, like I feel like
Yeah.
I'm a lot of things. Even with this project that I'm trying to, launch out here, I want people to know that you're more than just your job. Growing up, I've always seen myself as a basketball player. What are you? I'm a basketball player. After I graduated from Naval Academy, I realized that my job was officer, and I was no longer a basketball player. And it sounds kind of lame when you hear certain things, but I think athletes will be able to, I guess, understand. But when you kind of lose your identity as a basketball player and realize I'm not a basketball player anymore, you're no longer a part of the sport, it hurts. And I felt like I had kind of identity issues. People usually congratulating like, "Oh, you're an officer." And I remember like on the phone with my ex-girl at the time, and I was like, "I'm no longer about to." She's like, "You should be happy. You graduated. You're an officer." And I'm like, "I don't really care about that." But you start to kind of learn to kind of reshape your values and kind of find value in yourself, and that you're not just your job. So even though Wordsmith, prior military, basketball player, soon to be a business owner, I'm whatever I decide I want to be. I want to be someone that accomplishes a lot of things in my life. And I believe that whatever I put my hands to, God will prosper. I feel like I've had that kind of mind to be able to get things done. The Naval Academy has, it gave me a lot of confidence in myself. to be able to overcome challenges. So I don't like challenges like, oh, I'm so glad I'm having this hard time, but I won't shy down in the face of a challenge. I won't back down.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what you need. You need to be determined, and you are determined to be the best. Now you have a degree in economics, so you can be a teacher. Have you thought about being a teacher?
I don't see myself in a teaching, like it's kind of like coaching in a sense too. I don't see myself in a teaching environment. I don't mind teaching people in small group levels, like just giving my advice and sharing things and leading people in that sense.
Yeah.
But having to be on a schedule to go in the classroom or something and go and teach people. Usually, when you're a teacher, I feel like you have to have a curriculum or a book or something like that. And I'm not really trying to be tied to that. I'd rather when I'm teaching someone, teach things about life, like the day-to-day things. Obviously, books are important to be smart, but that doesn't getting 100 on a test doesn't make you smart. It's how you can apply that knowledge and how you can really use it in your day-to-day life. A lot of times at the Naval Academy, there's some very, very smart people in the Naval Academy. Mm-hmm. And by GPA wise, I wasn't the brightest at Naval Academy, but I still felt that I was smart, but just maybe not in those ways in the test compared to other people. But there's a lot of things where some athletes will go out, even though their grades might not be as high, their rankings might not be as high, but they go out into the real military and they thrive because they understand people, emotional intelligence, being able to psychological intelligence, and be able to, I guess, relate to people, motivate people, and they can be considered smart in that way, successful in that way. So I don't want to be like in a teacher setting, in a classroom setting. Definitely not me.
Well, you know what you said there. Now here's a question from Kim Jones. I want you to see this. Can you see that?
Were you a good student? I was good as in I tried, but my grades were tough. I was always like on the cusp of like being eligible. I was eligible and whatnot, but I would say one of my other things that hurt me was even PE. And it sounds crazy, but PE that almost made me ineligible to play basketball.
Don't say
and I'm an athlete. The swimming part, I remember getting in trouble my freshman year. I would say my senior year, I was still trying to pass my freshman year test. But my freshman year, I remember the coach pulling me in his office. He's like, "Worth, like you're at the Naval Academy. You can't be skipping class." Like, me as a person, I wouldn't normally skip class. Even in high school, I wasn't the type to skip class. I knew it was important, but I felt like I was fighting for my life. I was like, I'll try to sign in and then leave, and like I got to get out of here because I'm hanging on for a rope line. And they're like, let go of the rope. You can't do it. I'm like, I might die out here.
Wow. Well, you had a big day. I trolled your page and I saw a posting. You want to talk a little? You mentioned it You briefly mentioned it earlier, but what's that big day that's coming up? What did you do? What did you post?
Yeah, I proposed to my girlfriend. We were dating for 4 years. She's Japanese. She's out here, and I proposed to her 2 weeks ago. We went on a little trip out to the beach, got a hotel and a nice dinner, and I decided to propose to her. So that was a big decision, big step forward in life and everything. And we actually, because we've been dating for 4 years, we already kind of knew that we want to get married. It's not like, oh, we got to wait a whole nother year. So we just put in the papers here to, be married here. So we're still waiting on that stuff to come back and everything. But ready to get started forward in life and start my own family.
That's awesome, man. Now you want to start a family. How many children would you like to have?
I think two. I'm not trying to start right now, family now, but just me and my wife, we'll be family, and then later we'll add the kids. But I think the ideal situation would be kind of like the situation I grew up in, a son and a daughter. I want to be able to experience both.
So now what if you get a daughter and a daughter?
Then I just get a daughter and a daughter. But I guess it depends. Financially, things are like super, super good. I'll try again for a third, but I think anything beyond 3 is asking for just a lot of headache, honestly.
Now wait a minute, young brother. Now I have 4 children now. Come on.
And I'm sure it was tough. I'm sure you loved them, but it was tough.
Well, you know what? I want you to know that I'm proud of you. I'm very pleased that you had the courage to come on the show. You know, I want you to anything that you would want the viewers out there to know that's positive, that can help them be the next Worth Smith, or just to be successful. What would you recommend?
Recommend. Not everybody may believe in God and whatnot, but dedicate your plans to Him. A lot of people say like, they got rich or they did it themselves. And yeah, they are putting in the work and doing things, but without Him, it could be nothing. In a sense, like I can do everything I need to do, and I still not get where I want to get. It takes God to be able to prosper it to get me where I want to get. I mean, I watched the interview on Mark Cuban, and sometimes billionaires they'll say like, "Oh, I did this, I could do it again," and he straight up says like, "That's not true. Most of the times you're lucky. To become a billionaire, you have to be lucky. Like you can have the perfect idea, but at the wrong time, and it goes nowhere." So I'll say first and foremost, dedicate your plans to God, and then like really try to get knowledge. Asking for that wisdom, and then you have to do your part and study, understand what field you're trying to be successful in, whether it's a sport or business. Really put that effort in. God will see it and He'll bless it. And from there, like don't let people around you limit your imagination. Your imagination is there for a reason. It's very powerful. A lot of times people say you can't do certain things, and it may seem true at first until it's not true. People thought that we wouldn't be able to fly planes at one point, but here we are doing it. So you have to just be the first one to do it.
Hey, look, you preaching, and Vanessa Turner, amen. Look, amen. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. It's been real. And hold tight for 1 second. I have to make one small note. Next week, 8 o'clock. Come back next week at 8 o'clock. We're gonna have the legendary Troy X on the show. Got a lot to cover with him, so it's gonna be another exciting show next week. Again, next week we're gonna start our new show on Monday at 8 o'clock. Come back at 8 o'clock Monday. We're gonna have a new show, and young brother, this is a legend right here, Popsy Hudson, and she said, "Congratulations, young man. You will go far." That says a lot. Man. I believe that, man. I really do. Thank you for coming on the show, and hold tight. We're gonna get out of here, and I want you to help me tell everybody thank you for showing up. Peace, and see you next week.
No, thank you very much for having me on the show. I appreciate y'all so much.
Not a problem. See you next week. Peace.